Good evening, Turkey Day Eve, whatever you want to call it. How's everybody doing tonight? I just wanted to come on. Usually I come on Thursday nights, and well, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So, with that said, I was like, I'm going to come on tonight. So that way we can talk a little bit about don't eat too much tomorrow. Don't stuff your face too much tomorrow because you'll just feel miserable. And if you're listening to some of your governors, you may not be going out anywhere anyway. So, with that said, let's get started. So, one thing before I get started too far into this is I am thankful, and I think this is a good time to be thankful. It's a good time of year to be thankful for what we have accomplished, what we have learned, what we've, where we was and where we are now. Thankful that we are still getting out of bed. And there's a lot to be thankful. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we forget to be thankful. We forget to be like, hey, I am thankful for this. I am thankful that I started my pressure washing business. I am thankful I started my Christmas light business. I am thankful that I can put up Christmas lights for myself. And sometimes we need to be thankful. And so that is definitely something that I want to talk a little bit about. And, we can talk a little bit about Christmas lights too, because I love Christmas lights. I went and did a ride along on Monday. Yeah, Monday with Fred Zimmerman up in the Indianapolis area. I will be having some videos coming out on that. And so, with all that said, let's get started. So, I am thankful for you. And what my thankfulness for you is if you give me a review, and you can go to pressurewashhelp@gmail.com and give me a review. And if you do that, I am going to give away $100 gift card on Friday, on Black Friday. And so that is one way that I am giving back to the community. The next thing is if you sign up on my anywhere that you may sign up. If you bought something, you will already be signed up. If not, you will get another gift card. That's another way to enter. You can go to kingofpressurewash.com/podcast. There's a place that you can just put your mailing address, and that way, whenever I put out new podcasts, stuff like that, I'll email it out, let you know. You can go check out my podcast. It comes out every Tuesday morning. It has some really good stuff. It has some really key players on it that I brought onto my lives that I have made into podcasts. So there is some great information I'll have on there of how a 26-year or 25-year-old did $1 million this year in business in pressure washing alone. I have some other key players, people knowing how to do, talking about bookkeeping, talking about different things that I have on my podcast. So go check that out. Go do that, and that's how you get it. The last thing is if you're in my membership, you will be joined. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I have a Black Friday sale going on. This will get you lifetime access to all my stuff, whether I change it or not. You will have life access to it. The other thing is you can go to pressurewashhelp.com or christmaslightshelp.com/free and sign up there. Good evening, $1 million landscaper. How you doing, Scott? Are you putting up any Christmas lights yet? So, with that, I know it's pretty cool. I got one of my members is actually doing some pretty cool stuff. One of them is doing Stephen King's house in a week. So that's pretty neat that he was able to get that and land that job. And so I got some guys that are really knocking it out of the ballpark down in Raleigh and Greensboro, North Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky. This one here was in Richmond, Indiana. And so I've been doing some ride-alongs. I'm going to probably go up to Cleves, Ohio. I believe he said I can do a ride-along with him next week. And so I'm doing some ride-alongs. I like doing the ride-alongs, getting the video, and my goal is to keep putting these videos up of just how the install goes, how different things that I learned, or not how that I learned, but how I've been videoing, so that way I can get it up to you and make sure that it is up to date. And that is my goal, is to have that I can have fresh content so you can have some good videos. I've got some pretty funny stuff coming up. I've kind of went on the let it fly, let it fly kind of stuff, and that's not always a bad thing. That way, I think a lot of times people can learn a lot by just doing that. So, if you have any questions about Christmas lights, if you have any questions about the business side of it, go ahead and ask questions. But again, I think that a lot of times we are not always thankful enough. And, like I say, whether we're doing this as a business, or we're doing it as a homeowner, I'm giving out a lot of information that you all can go and start and put up Christmas lights and look like a professional and make them look amazing at the end of the day. And that is my goal. And if you're trying to start a business, then obviously my goal is to make sure that you're successful. Um, I kind of got on a Facebook tangent earlier today about not charging enough. One of my guys, they're kind of in the same area, and one guy was $1,800 and the other guy was $1,200. And he's like, "Well, I already got all the lights." And blah, blah. I'm like, "So you just left $600 on the table. Do you understand what that means?" And he was trying to argue with me, and I'm like, it's about making sure that we are profitable year after year after year after year. Because if we're not profitable year after year after year after year, we go out of business. And the goal isn't to go out of business. The goal is to stay profitable, and to that we can have a crew, because when we're profitable, we can hire people, we can do other things along the way. And that is the goal, is to make sure that we are being successful at the end of the day. If we're not being successful at the end of the day, there's really no need of doing this stuff. And his excuse was, "Well, it'll only take me 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes with a crew of four. Well, I mean, is that really being profitable at the end of the day? So, if you are trying to start, if this is your first year, if this is your fifth year, it is important so that we can charge. Because a lot of times people will be like, "Well, I'm going to go cheap. I'm going to go cheap this year so I get some inventory. And next year, 2021, 2022, I'll raise my prices." Well, next year comes along and you don't raise your prices, and you're still at low prices. You're still at not making money prices, and you do it again next year. I need to get a little couple more customers next year. And so that's not a good way to run a business at the end of the day. My goal is so that you all are profitable. And, it's not about doing 300, 250 jobs to do $250,000. I'd much rather you do 140 jobs and do 240 or $250,000 at the end of the day. And when you do that, that is how you become successful. That is how you become where you need to be at and what you need to do to be able to grow and be successful. So on this house here, we did some fix-its, and so it was a fun little house to do. There was several windows. There was a bunch of windows here and a couple windows over here that had glued, and the glue had fallen off. And so that is definitely something that would do it. I'm trying to find some good quality but cheap lights right now, and I'm looking at lights at Wholesale. Have you ever shopped on that site before? Are the products good? So if you go to christmaslights.io, it will take you to that site, and I get a percentage of whatever you buy. No, it is a very professional site. It's one site that I would definitely tell you to do. It's probably the best site out there to buy products off of, to be honest. And I'm not just saying that because I get an affiliate link off of it. I've dealt with other people, and Dustin is probably by far the best to deal with. He's good at customer service. I know I've dealt with other people, and you can't get tracking numbers, and they make it sound like you're a headache. And Dustin does not do that at all. As soon as your stuff gets ready to ship, you get a tracking number and the whole 9 yards. So again, if you go to christmassites.io and then go, it will actually redirect you to that site. That way, that you can do that. Now, what I will say is a lot of these sites, everywhere. It's not just his site. Everybody's running out of product. It's a little crazy this year. A lot more stuff got bought than people thought would get bought, and so there's not there. You're starting to have to do what you got. I have a guy locally. He's trying to buy stuff off of me, and because they don't have nothing, everything is out. He was supposed to, for instance, the guy he bought it from, because it was a few dollars cheaper, whatever. It was supposed to be here on Wednesday. Then they moved it to Friday. Now they moved it to Monday. And so that's why, just because things are cheaper doesn't always mean it's the best. Dustin, the thing I like about Dustin, if you usually order it that morning, as long as, and it will tell you if it's in stock or not. If it's not in stock, it'll say it's not in stock. And when you order it that morning, it will ship out that night. It's not none of this, well, tomorrow, I ain't got it. I have another customer that's went through my class. He ordered like $5,000-$6,000 worth of crap from another company, and they didn't ship none of it because they were out of one product. And they're like, well, when are you going to ship it? When that one product comes in? Well, when's that one product going to come in? January. He's like, January? You're going to hold my stuff till January? How about no? So these are some things that, just for instance, that you got to look at. You got to look at where you're buying stuff, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that people are getting our stuff and getting it shipped out. Because if we don't get it shipped out, then it does us no good at the end of the day. So I hope that answered your question. I know I went way longer than what I probably should have did on a question about shipping. But and that's the other thing. Dustin's price includes shipping as long as you spend over $400. And what you will find out, shipping will kill you. Shipping is very expensive. I bought from my other supplier. I bought a box of steaks. It cost $75, and it cost me $90 to ship the crap for a box of air, pretty much, because the box is not very heavy. It's just very big and stuff, and I about fell over. You don't get that with Dustin. You know what the shipping is, because it is what the price is, and he doesn't, well, this shipping is going to be $5 more because it was more. No, he will eat it and you will ship it. And so that is definitely why I like Dustin, and I like the way he does things. Did first Christmas light job today, 80 feet of gutter. I loved it. It is a lot of fun. I do enjoy putting up Christmas lights. It's one thing, it's kind of like pressure washing in the fact that the instant gratification you get from it, even if it's during the day, you're like, that's going to look pretty cool at night. And then when you drive by it at night, you're like, that looks really good. It's like this house here. During the day, I knew it was going to look good. At night, it's like, wow, and when you get that wow factor, that is when it's a lot of fun, and that's when I like to do. And that's why I like driving around looking for Christmas lights. I like driving around seeing what other people do, seeing how they've done their Christmas lights. And so that's one thing that I enjoy to do, and that is definitely a wow factor. And so everything like that. Can you wish Christina happy birthday for her birthday is on Friday? Her birthday is on Black Friday. Happy birthday. So, but yeah, so Christmas lights are definitely a lot of fun. They're definitely, they can be very profitable. You can make a lot of money, or you can break even. And at the end of the day, who wants to break even? I don't want to break even. I want to make money, and I want to make sure you guys are making money. Because if you're not making money, you can do it as a hobby at that point. If you're doing it as a hobby, then that's fine too. This is not a hobby. I mean, if you like doing stuff for, if you like putting your lights on your own house, That's a hobby. Putting lights on cheap of other people's houses, that's not a hobby. If you're only going to make a little bit of money, you can go work at Chick-fil-A and make more money than that and do less work and less stress, and you don't have customers calling you. You know, what I've always found out, this is what I've always learned. This right here is what I've always learned is that um, is that the low ticket jobs are the jobs that will be the ones that will be the pain in your tail. They will be the callbacks. They will be the issues that you have. Usually the higher end tickets, I mean, yeah, you had to go fix a couple lights because they fell off. Yes, that's a callback. But a lot of times they will nitpick you for stupid stuff. You know, he had several lights fall down on him, so he had to go fix them. Next year goal is for Christina to be queen of the lights in our area. $500 job. That's not so bad. Nope, that's not. Um, and I know you're just getting started in this, and that's fine. But you know, if we start working next year, we want to try to get our prices up. And you know, I was looking through the Facebook groups, and one of the guys that I taught, Nicholas Yalls, I love what he put because he's killing it this year. I mean, he's probably going to do it well over 100,000 his very first year doing Christmas lights. But what he said is so true that a lot of people don't understand this. This isn't about putting up Christmas lights. This is a marketing company that just so happens puts up Christmas lights. That's what this is really about. We are marketing something that everybody wants to have their house look amazing. And so to be able to do that, we got to market it to the right people, not to the wrong people, because when we start marketing it to the wrong people, them aren't the customers. We got to find customers that are willing to pay for this so that it looks amazing and everything looks gorgeous and just the way it looks. So, but I know this should have been a very busy week for you all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is typically the phones will blow up. Even Friday, Black Friday, they will blow up because everybody forgot that they forgot to get their Christmas lights up. And so this week here will be nuts. Next week, it's going to start slowing down. And then the week after that, it's probably going to be, if you haven't done some good marketing, it's probably going to be the end of it. And so that is just the way it is. A lot of people don't want to spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for 2 or 3 weeks. So that's kind of how it is. But it is what it is, you know. So it is a good thing. It is a lot of fun. I love putting up Christmas lights. I love watching people put up Christmas lights. I love the end result of it. I think it looks good. So I do have some videos coming out. Like I said, I did it right along. I don't have a lot of the videos of like the bulb type and all that. And the reason why I didn't put none of that out this year is bulbs change every year. Every year they change. Every year they keep changing. So I was talking to Jeremy who put this up, and Million puts out a bulb, and they're called the V2s, version 2. And guess what? They're a lot brighter than the V1s. So they're a different bulb. You couldn't put those bulbs in with these bulbs because you would be able to tell a difference. So, you know, they do that so that way people have to spend money when you can't mix match bulbs. That's what's stupid. So it is what it is. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, but definitely just something you got to be able to deal with and make sure that you can do that. Again, make sure that you all, if you have any questions, ask them in the chat here. Sign up for the gift cards. There's 3 of them. $100. We're gonna the drawing is gonna be Friday. It's gonna close down on Sunday night or tomorrow night, Thanksgiving night at midnight. She said, my wife, she's the boss, and because I was gonna let it go all the way to Monday, and she's like, no, you want to change the rules. I'm all about breaking rules. I'm not about following the rules. And you know, and that's the way about these lights. You know, everybody's like, well, my way is better than your way. I don't care which way is better. Get the lights up. As long as they're up and they look good and you've made profit and you've made money, that's all that I care at the end of the day. Don't be coming to me and saying, I did all this work. I did 300 installs and I barely made 50, 60, 70, $80,000. Well, you know that's only one person's fault at the end of the day, and that's your fault, not my fault. Your fault. You know, because I don't teach that way. I don't jive on going cheap. I never have jived on going cheap on pricing, because pricing is one thing that we can't get back, and we can't make money if we're not doing it. So the three ways you can do this is if I have helped you out, give me a review at pressurewashhelp.com, pressurewash@gmail.com. Put an email in there. The second way you get another one is to join my mailing list. You can go to podcast, King of Pressure Wash podcast. That will put you on my mailing list. A couple other places on that King of Pressure Wash will get down there. And then the last one is if you sign up for Black Friday, that's what get you on 2 of them. This is a lifetime deal for life. It is a one-time fee. You'll get all my stuff, even my future stuff, and I'm planning on putting a lot more out and putting a lot more stuff into it. So go check out Black Friday, or you can go here to pressurewashhelp.com or christmaslightshelp.com/free, and you'll get 30 days free, and that will put you in 2 of them. Man, we're kind of quiet in here tonight. Quiet. Is everybody just getting ready for Turkey Day? Is that what we're dealing with? Or everybody's still working, trying to get stuff done. I knew Chisholm Proctor posted in one of the groups the other day that he's not going to get everything up by Thanksgiving that he was hoping to. And sometimes that happens, sometimes things, because when you're a one-man crew, 2-man crew, things happen. Some jobs you think are going to take 20 minutes and they take 2-3 hours, and you're like, well, that just threw me off schedule. And then that throws your whole schedule off for the next week, because you're trying to pile these other jobs to catch up. Been there, done that, and it's not always fun. A lot of times I'd pay my guys on Sunday so that they would go out and do 3 or 4 jobs, which would catch us back up. So that way when Monday came, we were back on schedule and ready to go. So like I say, it doesn't always happen that way, but it does happen sometimes. Sometimes it does that way. But any questions? Come on, guys, you gotta have some questions. Still power washing too. Awesome, Eric. If you're in the South, you can. Even here, I mean, we've had 50-degree days. We got 50-degree days this week. But by the end of this week, it's going to get a little chippy. It's going to get a little nipply. It's supposed to be a high of 34 and 35 and a lows in the 20s, like 24, 25. So if you do pressure washing, make sure. Now, I tell you something that is happening right now that's going to be no fun is this big rain coming across the country. Rain always sucks for Christmas lights because it just does. So it is definitely, rain is definitely something that you got to look out, and hopefully your lights don't go foobar. They don't go foobar, but tripping breakers and stuff like that. Is it worth to put another round of signs out tonight? I probably would. A lot of people will be out this weekend, on Good Friday or Friday and Monday, definitely Friday. And so, if you're getting them high intersections, people aren't traveling so much out of town. So I think that will help your sign game too. So I probably would go out and put a set of signs out tonight. If you feel like, that's probably something that I would do, Terry, just because I would. If you got an extra 25 or 50 laying around, go throw them bad boys out and get them up. I was reading in one of my local Facebook groups. Somebody was all pissed off because they put their sign in their yard, and they've done it like 2 or 3 times. And he called the owner and was like, "Come get your sign," and he wouldn't come get his sign. And this is where you got to be careful with that, because if you're not careful, this thread had 100 people commenting on there. And if you get the right Karen in there that goes and starts giving you a bad review, you could end up with 20 or 30 bad reviews. So don't try to piss people off, because that's not a good thing at the end of the day. It is just not to, I'm all about signs. Don't get me wrong. I love signs. and signs work and signs are good, but don't try to piss people off. So Lou asked about um, Reefs, and Reefs are a great moneymaker. You know, if I had a business, the two money makers, I would actually change it to three now because I know something else that makes money that's easy. One would be my roof line, two would be my reefs, and three is these bottom lights down here going around. They look good. They kind of break up. It gives the top, bottom, and you know that kind of gives the top of the house, the middle of the house, and the bottom of the house lights and reefs. Reefs are very. These are the reefs that I used right here. Um, were Sam Reefs, $159, 60-inch reef. They changed them this year. They say they look okay. They kind of look not my happiness on here, but that's all right. You can get them with the silver bow or the gray bow here or the red bow, and we would charge anywhere from $350 to $450 per reef. So you can see that we are making pretty good daggone money off of these reefs. So that way you can do that. Definitely worth the upsell. I like the color in them. You know, sometimes they have bulbs on them. Sometimes they have different things. And I like the color in the reefs. So that way, you know, during the day, they look pretty. They don't look just like a big green ring on their house. It actually looks like something. And I haven't seen the red reef or the red bow yet, but I know Jason out of Louisville said he's gotten 10 or 20 of these and they look fine. He said his wife likes them better than the old reef. So, you know, the female, just because I don't like it doesn't mean she don't like it. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, the male isn't the person buying it, it's the female. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania, posting on Nextdoor and Facebook too. Would you make a new Facebook page for Christmas lights or advertise Christmas lights on my pressure washing page? It'd probably depend on um, how many people you have in that group. I probably would make a new page. What do you think about when customers? What do you think about when customers ask us to do Christmas lights with their lights? Is it a good thing to do? Run fast, run real fast. It is not worth it. It's not worth your time. If you're going to do that, make sure you're charging $300 with a 2-hour minimum. That usually makes them run in the first place. It's not worth your time. It's not worth falling off of a roof for $200 or $300. And a lot of times they give you this big pile of crap and say, "Here you go," and you're like, "What's this crap?" You know what I mean? So it's not worth it. Hung 736 448 for $3,500 today. That's a good little job. That's kind of jobs that we want. You know, we don't want like I say, and it's all about, you know. So we hung 11 reefs for $3,500. 3 hours. That's $1,000 an hour because you got a little bit, $1,100 an hour. A lot. Separate my insurance. Separated my insurance. Agent said no to lights. Most of them will add it as a, what you call it, like an add-on deal, but maybe not. I know Matt up here in Ohio said he would add, most of the time, add that on as an extra service, and it wouldn't cost you a lot. But you never know. So that's a good reason to ask your insurance agent, because the last thing we want to do is do something stupid and burn down the house or something because we didn't have the right insurance that we got to go pay. Yes, Christmas lights could burn down a house. You know, we want to take special measures to make sure that doesn't happen. You know, I always put females on my ends because it's just not worth taking that chance or risking it. So $500 worth of wreath, $3,000. $300 an hour for lights too. If you're using their lights, I wouldn't even put their lights up. It's going to take you way too much time, and it's a pain in the neck. And here's the thing: what's going to happen if their lights aren't working? Are you going to sell them a bulb? Here's a $2 bulb. You got to make money at the end of the day. It's all about making money. It's about having profit at the end of the day. I know people think that word is a 4-letter cuss word. It's not. A lot of times people that have a hard time thinking of it as profit in that have a poor mindset, and the mindset is well, I can't charge that, I would never pay that. You daggone right, you would never pay that because you are not your customer. Get that out of your head. You are not your customers. It's coming down to the last week or two. Should I lower my price to sell the rest of my lights? I probably wouldn't, but you can if you want. Here's my theory on it is if I didn't sell them all, then fine. I'll have brand new ones for next year. I'm not going to lower my prices just because it's cheap. You know, if you want to go donate one or something like that to some kid that you know has got cancer or something, go use them on that. You know, I know Lou here helped donated some lights to a fireman for his kids because he had cancer he didn't have cancer. He had to have double lung transplant, and he went and put up his lights for him at the end of the day. That's what you can do with those extra lights. It wasn't something that he even charged. He just did it. There was a couple firemen went and helped, and that's and they gave he had two little girls and a little boy, and gave joy to them at that point. You know, I would get more joy out of that than seeing you go giving stuff away just to get rid of it, because you never know. You might be stuck with. I mean, depending on how much you got. If you got 3,000 feet of it, you can probably go sell it online right now and make way more money of selling that stuff because people can't get it, and it's like gold right now. And people have got large jobs that they can't get up because they don't have the material. I'm about to sell a reel of wire to myself. I've kind of drug my feet on it because I really want it for my training, and it's like I got to make sure I get some back for training this year because I'm going to do some trainings more than I did this year, and so that way people doing Christmas lights can get ready earlier and be able to get it up a lot sooner. But again, Christmas lights, I love Christmas lights. You know, and like I say, here's the deal. A lot of times about people, if we lower our prices, if they're not willing to pay $6 a foot, they're probably not willing to pay $4 or $5 a foot. It is what it is. That's not, at the end of the day, that's not our customer. We don't want to be the cheap customer. We want the good customers. We want the ones that want to put up reefs and make lots of money for us and make $3,000 in a day. Yes, you can make $3,000 off 3,500, make $3,000 because you got $500 in reefs. Yes, you can do that. You got to be able to know how to charge, and you got to be able to not be afraid. Lou could have went and been like, well, $500 for my reefs, and I can do it for $500 more. I'm going to make $500 in 3 hours. No, he didn't do that. He went out there and made $3,000 because it's about making money, guys. It's not about doing this stuff for free or making $20 an hour at the end of the day, because we have cost. And a lot of people, like I said, I did a ride along. A lot of people don't understand their cost. They don't know what they are paying. They don't know what is all included in that cost. For instance, insurance on your vehicles, insurance on your guys. You got storage. You got to store this stuff. You got gas. You got the lights. You got a lot of stuff. You got stolen stuff. You got everything else at the end of the day, And so there's a lot of costs that go into this, and if you want to make this your gig so that you can do this and not do a whole lot else, you can do that. Donovan down in Raleigh, North Carolina is going to probably hit 350,000 this year just in Christmas lights alone. This is his third year doing it. It's really his second year doing it all season long. The first season he only did like 10 jobs, and then in his third season he's going to do over $300,000 in profit. Right now he is charging 12 per foot. Every bulb on this house is $12. $12, $12, $12, $12. Yes, $12 a foot. Mind blowing. I know it's mind blowing for some people. I understand that it's mind blowing. But you know what? At the end of the day, people are paying it, and he's getting 3-year contracts with these people. So that means they get to pay it next year and the next year. And you know what that means? We don't need to do the $600 customers, because if we're doing the $600 customers, we're losing money. We're losing money. Money's just going right out the door, letting that money go right out the door. You know, it comes back to take action. We have to take action. If you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. If we just sit around and think, man, I want my phone to ring. Why won't my phone ring? I don't know. I guess I'll just sit here some more. No. Go put out 100 signs a week. Go learn how to do AdWords. Go pay somebody to build your website. And again, there's 2 ways to get traffic. 2 ways. 2 ways to get traffic. One way to get traffic is we have to learn everything and do it for free. The second way to get traffic is open our wallet. Open our wallet. Would you recommend Optical or SMD? Whatever floats your boat. They're all good. They're all bright. The Millions are good. You know, they're super bright. The V2s are even brighter. You know, I'm not, well, this light looks better or that light. You know, I want a light that I can throw against the wall and it don't break, and it works every time. Because that's what happens. At the end of the year, we pull them all down. They go, boom, breaking all. They don't break, but they all come flying down off the wall, hitting the ground. And you know what? The next year, I can go put them bad boys right back up on that house, and they're going to turn on just like that. That's what I want. I want that. That's my goal. You know, and these lights nowadays, they're, you know, the technology behind them is getting better and better and cheaper. You know, when I first started, the cheapest LED bulb was $1 a foot, and that was our $1 a bulb, and that was buying in bulk. That was buying 500, 1,000, 2,000 bulbs. That was the cheapest. Now you can get them, you know, now you can get them 90 cents, 80 cents. If you're willing to pay, don't want to pay shipping, you can get them all the way down into the 70-cent range. You know, but time you pay shipping, it's still about 90 cents a bulb. When I was paying $1 a bulb, that wasn't counting the shipping. So I had to pay $1 a bulb plus shipping. So the bulbs are getting better. And can't wait till 2021, because another one of my students is very good at signs, the big digital signs. He's got buku loads of customers, and he does very well for himself. He's one of the highest guys in his area. He's bought all the other sign companies out, and he's very profitable. And he's been to China several times. He knows the technology. He understands the technology, and he wants to sit down and talk with me, and we're going to talk about what we can do and come up with something. So I can't wait to see what it is and figure out what we can do with Christmas lights to make it even cooler and neater and all of that kind of thing. You know, the biggest thing that we got to learn is not everybody is our customer. Evening Jason. Have done only 2 jobs, but average ticket is $2,500. Both from signs. I put out 100 total signs, not enough. I've done a poor job marketing, looking to improve next year. Still plugging away. And that's what it comes down to is you know, putting out 500 signs, putting out 750 signs, putting out paying for, you know, AdWords, making sure that we're putting $2,000-3,000 in AdWords out there. You know, Donovan bought 500 signs before the beginning of this year. And you know how many signs he put out this year? 0. He didn't need to. He's got busy, stayed busy. He did what I told him, and guess what? His business blew up. His goal for 2020 was $250,000, and he hit that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So it can definitely be done. I'm not saying that it can't. It takes work. It takes a little poking in the butt to get it moving. Um, you know, it goes back to, if you don't care for your business, I don't care for your business. Your business is going to fail. If you care for your business, I'll care with you for your business. I'll give you whatever I can help you to make sure that you're successful at the end of the day. Because when you are successful at the end of the day, everybody wins. At least you win, I win, we all win. You know, when you fail, I mean, I can only do so much. I can only spoon feed you so much. I can spoon feed you, and what I spoon feed you, you got to go out there and make it happen. And I give you all the information, and that is my goal. And so definitely do that. Again, I have all my information at the deal of the year. I'm not going to give no other deal out like this. It gives you Christmas lights and pressure washing and marketing. Lifetime student of my stuff. So if I change it, you get all the changes too. I am going to change it. I'm getting ready to add a bunch more to it, and so I'm getting ready to stir it up and make it even better, because I've got a year of what I did first, and so my goal is to make it even better, because if I can make it better and I can make more people successful, that's what I want. That is what I want. People being successful. And yes, you can be successful. So, if I don't have any more questions, I will be back on my pressure washing channel in about an hour and a half at 9 o'clock. I'm going to jump on there. And so, again, you can go check out kingofpressurewash.com. Buy that. That gets you into 2 gift cards if you buy the Black Friday. If you don't buy it and you want to give me a review, if I've helped you grow your business, be successful, all of those great things, that will definitely, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to make sure people are successful at the end of the day. So I'll see you all next Thursday. I got a video coming out. Did it come out today? I think it comes out Friday. It's a pretty good little video, and I'll have some coming out next week. Hope you all have a good Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey, but be thankful. That is the thing. Always be thankful. A lot of times we get in a mindset, we forget that we need to be thankful sometimes. Sometimes we thankful to wake up. That's a good thing. We can go out there and change people's lives, and that's the goal. Hope you all have a good weekend and stay safe, and don't eat too much turkey.